Hi guys. So welcome back to Tiff Talks 22. Guys, this is not going to be a tarot reading. This is about my conversations with the divine today. Yesterday, over the past few days, right? Since the solar eclipse came about, right? I feel like spiritually some things have just been becoming so clear to me, and God is kind of redirecting and reeling me back in. I don't even feel like it's a redirection. I feel like that's an accurate assessment. But this conversation today is for the light workers. I asked Spirit, I asked the Holy Spirit, we're going to talk about that too. Was it simply for light workers or people who are becoming light workers? And God said no, completely light workers. Because if that is your path and you're at a space where you're gonna a point in your journey where you're gonna understand this message, then yeah, you are a light worker, right? And you already know it. And that's nothing to against anyone who is ascending, but this conversation ain't really for y'all. That's all I'm saying. So a couple things that I was given today, that sometimes God isolates you to redirect your attention. Well, I was given this a couple days ago, but I just hadn't felt guided to post it or share it yet or make a post, But sometimes God isolates you to redirect your attention so that you can focus on yourself, the divine, and your healing. The thing about healing, guys, is that it is a continuous journey and process, right? You can think you are awakened, and you probably are, but there's always going to be more to do, especially if you are in the role of a light worker, right? You're going to have to continue to go through things or have these experiences that teach you things, because you are meant to share by either being an example or by teaching others how you did it, right? So that's one. If you are feeling alone or lonely or isolated in your journey, or like, dang, I don't have no friends, you're never alone. First of all, never alone. You always have the Most High, the divine. You always have a guardian angel, at least one, but probably lots, right? Like I always say, my ancestors are a squad. They are a squad. And I say that because I know that, right? I just know it, and I believe it to be so. So y'all hear me saying it a lot, and I love that. Okay, so yeah, I ain't put no makeup on today because we just having a real conversation. But yeah, so something that I have been thinking about lately, because I've been growing. I've always been interested in tarot, well, since my journey started, because it was really helpful to me as far as healing and knowing which way to look or what to dig into or where I needed to work, etc. Right? So for me, when I started reading tarot for other people, I wanted it to be healing. 3 on the clock. I wanted it to be healing. I wanted it to be like it was for me in my journey, right? But then I feel like something that happens is that we become, this is what happens when you get off path or out of alignment, so to speak. Not even out of alignment, but just, you kind of waver off your street just a little bit, right? Because it's so many people who are like, oh, I'm gonna pull tarot cards, right? And they know the meanings of some of the cards, or they think they do, but they're looking at it with their 3D eye and not their 5D eye, right? So the 3D eye are the readings that most people are posting right now. Those are the readings that foster addiction, like what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next, right? But they also create anxiety, or they create fear. I posted a reading yesterday and I deleted it because I was like, no, that wasn't the intention. I don't think that was the intention of the message, nor was it my intention to fuel that. So I took that reading down. But anyway, yeah, so that obsessive energy that you can get from wanting to know the future, it creates that anxiety. That obsessive energy that you get about what happened in the past creates depression, right? And so when you are hyper focused on either of those things, you're not able to live in the now, right? It's good to look back at the past, but it has to be with an intention of learning from it, right? Of growing from it or growing through whatever it is that you went through. And so what I feel like has been happening over the past few days, and definitely not just for me, but also for me, right? Has been an increased fear of what's about to take place. I think because both intuitively, energetically, especially if you are super sensitive to energies, right? I feel like we knew that something was about to change, right? And for some of us, a lot of us, it did. Like there's a cycle that ended here, and it was distinct and intentional as well as palpable, right? But oftentimes we create this fear, anxiety of what's about to change for us when it was supposed to be, or it was intended to be, a positive change, right? Like if you've been obsessing over someone returning to you, or you've been obsessing over, thought I heard somebody. I just saw 616 on the clock. If you've been obsessing over, when your money's going to skyrocket, right? You're not able to live in the moment. And so I feel like Spirit was ending that cycle for many of us to get us back on our focus. So so when you are in that energy of obsession, it really kind of hinders your growth. It hinders your healing. I remember when I used to do tarot readings all the time for love, and I was like, no. Well, I feel like Spirit showed me that, like it fuels obsession. So it's like what I'm trying to help you to fix, which is loving yourself enough to know that anything that walked away from you was not a match for you, right? Or anything. 707 on the clock. Y'all, sevens are all about spirituality, knowledge, divine wisdom, etc. And 0 is God, right? 0 is the beginning. It's the beginning before the beginning. Anyway, 707, that might be helpful to someone. Could be somebody's birthday as well. This message might be helpful to you. Anyway, so I used to do, love readings quite a bit. But then I was like, I'd done personals, of course. And this one lady's personal, I just happened to look, and I saw she had watched it 89 times. 89 times. You heard that right. Why? That's somebody who's watching with their third eye, not their 5D eye, right? So whatever it is that I'm saying in this message, she likely isn't getting, because she's watching it like, this guy, instead of what she needs to do for herself in the meantime, right? So the goal or the focus becomes, when is he coming, or he's going to get himself together, when the focus should be, how do you need to love yourself in the meantime to attract what it is that you desire? Because it's all about energy. It's all about vibration. That's another thing that I wanted to hit on. I've seen some readers say, like their viewership has declined, or, well, as you ascend, everybody not going to be able to relate to your messages. Okay. It's just as simple as that. Because we are in the 3D, and not everybody's wanting to heal. Some people are comfortable with the devil that they know, right? As opposed to breaking the chains from that devil and falling in love with themselves and attracting something newer and of higher value and purpose, right? And so not everybody's going to be able to relate to your readings. It's not always about the algorithm, because Spirit, God, Source, the divine is going to lead the people who need the message to the message, or the messenger, right? You heard that saying, and I know y'all have, because I say it all the time. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear, right? So yeah, there's that. There's also an energy here, and this is something I noticed a long time ago, which is why I just didn't even watch a lot of different types of readers, right? Because they give you this message, they fuel this energy, but then it's like, how the hell was that helpful, right? How was it helpful? I'm looking at my arm, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm judging me. Sheesh. Anyway, I'm working on it too. Okay. But it's like, how was that helpful? Because now essentially what you've done is you've created this thing where, okay, I want to know what's next. But that's not of divine purpose. That's not of divine purpose, because you're not trying to help me. You're not trying to help me to heal. You're not trying to help me to grow. You're trying to help me to come back. I think I told, well, I know I told y'all this before. There was a girl I used to follow, and she just kind of did motivational speaking. She did a little bit of tarot, right? But I just noticed one day, her energy was shifting just a little bit. She probably got off course, like I think I have before. But her energy was shifting, and she was really pushing her Patreon and pushing her tarot readings, even though she didn't really do tarot readings that often. But then one day in her motivation, she told everyone that they needed to trust their own intuition, right? Trust your own intuition. And that's true. You want to empower your viewers to trust themselves enough where they are not obsessively reliant on you. And watching a reading 89 times is obsessive reliance. But that's not what the divine has for you, right? They want you to rely, God wants you to rely on God, right? God does not want you to rely on what your fortune teller told you was going to be your fortune. All right. So this is where your faith and your own intuition kick in. So, and I've said this often, I really enjoy doing ascension readings for people because, one, I know that those are people who are trying to heal. They're trying to do better. They don't want to stay stuck or be stuck. 1155 on the clock. They don't want to stay stuck. I'm sorry, y'all. It's a habit. It's a habit. It's a habit. They don't want to stay stuck. So those are the ones that I enjoy doing, and I usually get a lot of information that's helpful as far as their inner child, some certain patterns or things that need to be let go of, right? Because those are helpful. Those are going to help you to become the best you. 1221. But it's and that's more fulfilling for me, and it's going to be more helpful for you. But if you are not ready to create a change, or if you're still looking like, oh, he did me wrong, or you're not ready to take accountability, you're not ready to heal, you're not ready to grow, you're not ready to ascend. Okay, so those messages, when I'm offering that type of information, are not going to resonate for everybody, right? When you, as a light worker, become... This is why I was like, I don't want to be obligated to post every day, or I don't want to be obligated to post love readings every day or every week even, right? I wait until Spirit tells me, nope, it's time for us to refocus on love. So to give this information out to people, right? Then I do those readings, because once you get into a space as a light worker where you feel the obligation over the desire to be of service, or doing something because you love it, right? Or out of love, right? And love is going to want the best for people. Love is going to want to help people. Love is going to want people to heal, right? But when you do it out of obligation, it feels like, oh, I gotta hurry and get these readings done. Or then here comes the haste and the anxiety that you're creating, right? For yourself. So be sure that you are mindful of your intentions behind why you post. If you have a following, or you've created a following, and you're like, oh, they need me, and you start to feel obligated to do these readings because this is the schedule that I've given them, right? I had made a schedule too, like long ago, but then I was like, I'm not sticking to that schedule. Because what I told God I wanted for my life was to not be on a schedule. So why am I coming over here, turn around doing this, and put myself on the dang schedule, right? I want to be able to enjoy my life with the people that I love, and to help in whatever it is that I do, add to enlightenment for society in general, right? So when you move to that space where it's like obligation over love or service, you are off path. Also, a lot of times in the readings, and I had included this yesterday in a reading, but I took that reading down because I didn't like that. It felt like there was some invoked fear. A lot of these, we look at it like it's other people, right? And sometimes it is other people and other people's energy, but much of tarot from a divine viewpoint is about us, right? There's that one. It's about us and how we feel about ourselves. This card right here, the Ace of Cups, right? Cups are all about emotion. You see that white dove coming down from above, right? Doves. Doves are all about peace. Doves are all about love. But the position of the dove coming down from above, that's divine love. The water overflowing. Water simplifies. What the freak am I saying? Symbolizes emotion, right? And so it's like this love that is so fulfilling, like your cup is just overflowing with this energy, usually of joy or of gratitude, right? Or this could be you pouring that energy because you are of God. You are God. You are, your soul essence is divine love, right? That energy and that emotion being so overwhelming that not only do your emotions and your gratitude overflow, but it's like this is the same energy of you pouring into yourself, loving yourself. But most people read this card, this Ace of Cups card, and it is a gift from the divine, right? As, oh, you have new love coming in. Now, you could have a relationship coming in, but this is the importance of clarifying these cards. A lot of readers are like, oh, I don't want to be pulling a lot of cards, either because they want it to look a certain way or yeah, that's usually it, I think. But like, it's so necessary, especially in a collective reading, to clarify the card so you know how it's intended in the message. Of course, the other cards, rely on the energy of one card, but this is not always about a new relationship. This is about you learning to love you and to love yourself. The card that I was looking for, though, that I really wanted to touch on was the Lover's card. Most of the people would read the Lover's card as a partnership, right? A soulmate connection. If you look at that card, which we are, because I'm finna find it. If you look at that card, the feminine, the divine feminine, in this relationship, that she is comfortable enough to stand there nude and be open and feel unjudged and free with this person, right? But the divine feminine is looking at the divine, okay? God, source. Her head is to the sky. The divine masculine, well, probably the distorted masculine, is looking at the feminine. Now, this could be a couple things. It could be, him following her lead or her example. I feel that it is him looking at her in an energy that is less than divine, right? It's more of a lustful energy. So his focus is not on a divine partnership or relationship. That's why this is also, or often, a third-party situation or a clandestine affair or something that one of these people is not supposed to be in, right? Because it's like we are not equally yoked or evenly aligned. But most readers say, oh, lovers, oh, love, they lovers. Right? So I just encourage you, even if you think you know what you're doing, to go through and really not even get the information from a book, because I got plenty of tarot books, right? Go through and really assess the meaning by observing what you feel, what you see, what your guides show you about each of these cards. I assure you, some of your views are going to change if you guys do that. Yeah, because that Ace of Cups energy is just sometimes a suggestion that you need to love yourself more. You need to be more self-accepting. You need to work on your self-esteem. You need to renew your self-confidence, right? And how do you do that? When you've been in a space, an addicted space, or a cycle with that Wheel of Fortune, or a pattern with that Wheel of Fortune, where you are constantly talking negatively about yourself. You're constantly berating yourself. Even if you don't say it out loud, it's things that you think of, things that you allow to make you insecure, right? So that Ace of Cups energy is divine love. It is self-love, right? It's not always a relationship, but it is on us to give that message. I feel like a lot of us get off track because we know people are wanting love. That's an innate desire as a human, right? We're born with the desire to be in some type of partnership, right? Anybody who tells you they want to be single are likely carrying some hurts that they need to heal. Okay, because it's just like it's not human nature to desire to be alone. However, like I said at the beginning, sometimes God will isolate you so that you can see that there are some things that need to be fixed in you. Okay, as far as how you value yourself, how you view yourself, how you love yourself. Also, I wanted to talk about gratitude affecting your vibration. I do not do personal readings. I try not to do readings on the channel either when my energy ain't right. I just saw 2112 on the clock. When my energy ain't right, okay? Because the simple fact of the matter is we are dealing in energy. You can invite negative energy in. You can bring negative energy to the reading. So if you're not in your highest vibration, the messages that you get, you may be inclined to take the most negative meaning of the reading, or you may be inclined to listen to spiritual input or advice that is not who you think you are talking to. Let's talk about that. I had an incident the other day. Especially, this is why I only do true crime readings now, or I have been. I don't know if I'm going to do it more frequently, but I'm definitely going to dedicate only my Tuesdays to that, because a lot of these energies, of course, they involve murders, they involve heinous things, right? So it's 2211 on the clock. So it can be low vibrational. So you have to be very, very, very much so in a protected energy, but also a high vibrational energy, because of the things that you can open up a portal to. Because these are things that negative stuff has already transpired in these happenings, right? 2233. And so, yeah, your vibration is everything, and gratitude affects your vibration greatly. So if you're in an energy where you're always you're down, or you're upset, or you're wishing for more, or you're wishing this had happened this way, or no, express gratitude for what is. Look for the lesson from what it is that you've experienced, and keep your vibration of a divine frequency, on a God frequency, right? Especially when you are preparing to advise or offer healing or help with tarot to other people, right? That's your role, and that is your obligation. It's an ethical obligation for you as a light worker, right? And you want to make sure you stay on your life purpose. What is your path, right? So if you have been guided to offer these messages to the collective, to the public, to help them, ask yourself if the readings that you are giving, or not ask yourself, ask God to help you to make sure that those readings are on course with what it is you are intended or purposed to be doing, right? Because I'm telling you, telling somebody every day or every other day that they have this relationship coming in, right? Or this relationship went wrong. Sure, it went wrong. Is he cheating? Absolutely, he's cheating. So, but that's, right? Not necessarily, absolutely. But I'm just saying, yeah, he's cheating. So now the thing is, how are you going to give yourself love? Are you going to get out of this connection? Or are you going to repeat a cycle where you stay stuck, right? Is this a pattern or a cycle that is specific to you? Or is this what you learned that healthy relationships are, based on patterns and relationships that you've seen in your own family dynamic, right? That's when we start to get into healing. Otherwise, it's just like, he is cheating, girl. He is. How the freak is that helpful? How is that helpful? Now, how do you fix it? You don't fix him, you fix you, right? Or you don't fix her, you fix you. Why are you going to stay in this situation? Do you feel like this is what you deserve, or do you deserve better? If you don't feel like you deserve better, why is that? Is it a fear that you can't get better? Why is that? Is that a lack of trust in the divine? Because a lot of people are out here like, I'm running out of time. I'm running out of time. Okay, so you're in that fearful, anxious energy, and that's not in alignment with the energy of manifestation either, right? That's what I wanted to mention too. Well, we talked about it a little bit. Whose energy are you calling in as a light worker? When you guys are doing tarot readings, right? Are you be very mindful of who it is you are connected to, or who is fueling your reading. I have definitely started to rely more so on my ancestors, right? You know, your ancestors want to see you be successful. However, you still need to be specific about the ancestors who are of the highest and most divine vibration, right? You can't just say spirit, because it's a whole bunch of spirits around, especially if they know you have a channeling gift. It's a whole bunch of different kind of spirits going to show up, right? And some of these spirits don't want you to get this message out to improve people, because why? They want these people to be as miserable as they were in life, right? So be very specific about the energies that you are calling in or asking for guidance, help, or advice from on your journey. I was doing a reading the other day, and it wasn't confusing to me. It was just not in alignment with what my intuition said was for me. And I said, okay, who is this? Right? Who is this? And I said, are you from Jesus, from God, from the Most High? And they were like, no. I said, well, you need to get the fuck out of here then. Like, simple as that. You've got to go, right? I don't want your input or your advice here, right? Because it's like something that I was shown, something that I felt was like, okay, it's time to cut this cord to let this situation go. But then some of these divine masculines guys don't think it's just feminines who have strong intuition or spiritual gifts. It is not. Some of these divine masculines have really powerful energy. They just don't know how to use it, or they use it with malicious intent. But yeah, so this person said that, this energy said that, and I was like, oh no, you've got to go. I had to clear my space, amp my protection up just a bit, and kept it moving, right? Clear my space. I mean, you know, sage and all these things, right? Get these people out of here. But like before every reading, it's very intentional for you to, it's very important for you to be intentional about the type of energy that you're calling in. Even in one of the last readings that I did for, I think, Jason and Kenny Guerra, Jason Salter and Kenny Guerra. No, was it that reading? Yeah. Oh yeah. The feminine energy, they didn't, the people who committed that crime, they did not want me to give that message. They did not want me to give that message. Okay. And like I straight up asked Spirit, like, okay, who did that? And it was shown like the people that you were just talking about, right? So I had to re-record. Of course, it was like way shorter, way less detailed. I just told a lot about what I had just seen. But you have to really protect your energy and be very careful with that. And I want you guys to just know, like, I don't feel like I have all the answers. I don't feel like I have it all worked out. I absolutely don't. However, based on who I used to be, right, and who I've seen myself become, how I've seen my faith increase, my devotion to God and the divine increase, I know it was of no power of my own, right? I know it was of no power of my own. Other people also see and know that change in me as well. And I feel like that is what draws people in, because it's like, now I know her ass did not used to be like that. So let me see what's happening with her that may be helpful to me. So a lot of it is just about being the example. So when you hear readers say, you know, to tell you to be the light or to be the example, that's partially it, right? Allow your life to be not only a walking prayer, but a walking example of how powerful prayer is. Prayer, meditation, whatever it is that you believe, right? Not even whatever. God, source, the divine, the universe, the most high, however you want to define that higher power, just make sure it's a higher power of a divine energy, right? A divine and unconditionally loving energy. Okay. Is that all, guys? Archangels, is that all? That's all for now. I wanted to include some of everything that I have been being shown over the past few days, right? Something else that Spirit told me was that, like, this was a few days ago. Hold up. Let's just say my gift is changing. That my gift is changing, right? And I know it doesn't mean that I'm not going to do tarot. Because I am going to still do tarot, because like I said, it was so instrumental in my own healing journey. But perhaps the way that I do it, or the way that I choose to view the cards, or the way that I even share messages, right? Because it's not just cards. I get messages from the sky, from the animals, from the insects, right? From music even. And just from intuition, right? Like one day this week, I hit the ground, like when I woke up, and I was like, oh, that's exactly what that means. I had to text my nephew right away, right? So just be mindful of that, because I feel like I'm not the only one there where your gift is going to evolve. Just be prepared in a way to accept that evolution. Okay. A lot of time, I think I said this before too. Like, a lot of times you starting out is one thing. You're not going to stay there. That was a stepping stone to prepare you for the next level or the next phase. All right, guys. So I hope this was helpful. That is, I feel, all that I'm guided to share with you at this time. But let me know how you feel about these things in the comments. Bye bye, guys.